So today we will talk about uh, collaboration and taste, most importantly taste. So you have the passion for filmmaking. Let's go step by step. You have the passion for filmmaking, enthusiasm, you are curious to explore a subject, you are wanting to make a film based on something, and you are doing your research, you are writing your script, you are doing your sketches, storyboarding, whatever you want to do, to guide you through the filmmaking process. Then we talked about ideas to films. Again, you are finding ideas, you are creating characters, you are creating situations, you are creating dialogues, you are giving your idea of form in terms of a script. And that script is becoming a guiding material the cast and crew can refer to. So they are following the storyboarding, they are following the sketches, they are following your directions, they are following your scripts, notes on the scripts, So all these things together are giving the cast and crew an idea how the film is going to be, how they are going to shoot it, what is going to be the end product, how this will have an emotional appeal to the audience, that cinematic experience on screen, how we are creating that, all these things you are doing. Today we are talking about, if you have done pre-production, then you are coming to production. When you are going for production, in pre-production too, if you are writing a script, you can do it with collaboration, you can do it with someone else, you are collaborating with that person. Many people do that, 2 people, 3 people, they can write a script together. Then your ideas to films, when it comes to production, it's about collaboration, taste. If you look at the material or the text, it is script, literary medium, the text and the material you have. But that is becoming the cinematic medium, translated into the cinematic medium. So a lot of people are coming together, collaboration. It's a lot about taste. The composer you are choosing, the sound designer you are choosing, the production designer, the set decorator you are choosing, the artistic director you are choosing. Sometimes the script supervisor you are choosing, the casting director you are choosing, very important. We are giving a lot of importance to casting directors nowadays. We have always given a lot of importance because, they are bringing the actors, and the actors are, such an important part of the film. So casting directors, they should be given a lot of importance. And everything, cinematography, makeup and hairstyle, costume design, the broad roles or the smaller roles under these people, each and everything is important. But when we are talking about collaboration, broadly if I talk about collaboration, director and along with the director, these people are coming together. The cinematographer is doing the cinematic language visually, so that you have something in the text, in script or whatever form you wish to have, but you as a director are conveying the idea to the cinematographer, how you are going to shoot the film, how you are going to do this and that, staging and blocking, actors moving, and then short composition, mise en scène, how the art director is coming, discussing with you why this particular thing will be in that frame, why we should keep it or we should not keep it, and what is the reason behind that. Sometimes you go by the gut feeling, sometimes you go by specific meticulous reasons. You want to have that object in the background, it is conveying something, you want to have something particular in the background or in the foreground, it is conveying something. So you are working on all these things, collaboration. It's a lot about taste. Last day we discussed, a great script with a mediocre director can become a bad movie, or a mediocre cast and crew can become a bad movie. Why I emphasize on this point is, it's a lot about taste. Suppose the material is there in the text, but the possibility of the material, what it can become in terms of a movie. When you understand that, you are picking those people who can understand that. That is also a great art. You are doing a lot. You are bringing the right people together. You are forming the cast and crew. You are doing collaboration. It's about taste. So ultimately, you have the vision of that entire film. And with all these people, this literary text, this literary medium, it is translated into that cinematic medium, and ultimately we are looking at the film. But before making the film, a director is having all this thing in his mind or in her mind. So they are knowing what it can become, what it will become, because they are confident about their forte or expertise, because they are expecting the film to become this, in terms of the end product, in terms of the experience, in terms of storytelling, all these things coming together. So you are caring for the audience, you can do that. Some people do that, some people care for the audience, they are writing it accordingly, they are shooting it accordingly, the entire thing is based on that. Some people are caring for the story more, whatever is best for the story. And caring for the audience and caring for the story, these two things are coming together. So ultimately, when you are telling the story, when we are making the movie, audience, they are enjoying it. Sometimes they are grasping the entire thing, sometimes they are not, but they are enjoying something great cinematically, emotionally, cinematically. But that continuous push towards telling the story in a better way, that is what you should do. In pre-production, production, or post-production, what you can do is continuous push, and that becomes a characteristics, a part of the set of characteristics, or that becomes a basic character for most of the directors, because we want to make the movie, we want to tell the story. So continuously we are pushing towards telling the story in a better way. The decisions we are taking, sometimes people are following it, we see people are following it, people are taking the instructions, but continuously we are pushing towards telling the story in a better way. A lot of decisions, sometimes when we make the film, when we watch it, still we think we could have done it in a different way, we could have changed the shot, we could have changed the actor performances, we could have placed the camera in a different way. We are always thinking about that. We can 10 years ago we could have made the movie in that way. 10 years after we can movie the movie in a completely different way. We are different as a human being, situations have changed, and a lot of things can change, society, audience, their taste, and the way we are dealing the subject, that can change. So it can be a totally different movie. We are evolving, cinema is evolving, the situation is evolving, the way we tell the story can evolve, or it can be the same, because you want to tell the story in that particular way. So you are keeping those things together. Again, when you are making the movie, you are making it in that particular way. You can do that. A lot of creative options we can play with, but that enthusiasm, that passion, we are always pushing towards telling the story in a better way. That can be the basic thing around which the filmmaking process can happen. Cast and crew coming together, all these people coming together, taste, selecting that person, selecting the work, selecting that particular shot, selecting that particular arrangement of the shot in the editing table, selecting the particular scores, adding something, removing something from the score for the storytelling purpose, choosing things, bringing people together, adding more perspectives, adding more opinions. All these things can result into creative decisions that you can take in the editing table, you can take in the while you are doing the cinematography, you can take a lot of opinions, and you can choose whether you are going to shoot this thing in this way, whether you are going to place the camera in this way. You can go for a lot of discussions, but again, collaboration, taste. So work ethic, obviously it is very important, and how much direction is needed for the cast and crew, that is also very important. Some actors will require a lot of direction, you need to tell them a lot of things. Some actors will not require that much direction, they will not require that much. You don't need to tell them a lot, you can give them slight ideas, slight tools and techniques, and they can work on their own. So how much you are telling, that is also very important. Perspectives, very important, you can have it throughout the filmmaking process. Introspecting the material and the text with introspecting with the material and the text, and interpreting the material and the text. So you are interpreting the material and the text, and you are interpreting the material and the text, and you are introspecting with it. Sometimes you are not on the set, you are at your comfort zone, at your home or at some other place, and you are sitting with the material, you are interpreting it, you are introspecting, and maybe the next day you are going to shoot that particular scene, maybe after a few days, maybe after a few months you are going to shoot that particular scene, but you are wanting to have a grasp of the character, grasp of the narrative, you want to know the character more, you want to know how the events are unfolding, how you can bring in more, eventually you will become the character. So you are watching the character becoming that, from this to that. So you are looking at that part of the scene or the script, and you are enjoying reading that. Once I was this during the narrative timeline, and I will become this. And you can see that in the script, how you are going to use your acting performances, your acting techniques, to tell the story in a better way. So when you will reach that part, if somebody is not shooting that before, because sometimes what happens is, what is later written in the script, some people shoot it before, so you know where you are starting with, or where you will end as a character. But if you don't do that, you are starting with the character, then eventually you are going through a linear type of shooting, and then you are becoming the character, and you are introspecting how you will reach that position, how you will become that character, and gradually you are going through plot points and events, and you are becoming that character. So when you give that performance and it becomes a rap, you understand that you started with this and you became this. Great acting performances. Then if you require it, you will go for another shoot, extra shooting things depending on that. But ultimately, you always push towards telling the story in a better way. So that's why these things are driving the decisions, how you can tell the story in a better way. But if you look at it, you will see that emotion and time and emotion. So emotions varying with time. You have the that spine of the story, or that narrative arc, and emotions are varying, conflicts, resolution, tension, relaxation, different things, dramatic points, dramatic tensions, and plot points, inciting incidents, things changing, tropes, many things are coming together. Time and space, again, how we are tackling space, I have mentioned it many times, but again I will just mention it briefly. When we are talking about space, ultimately you are shooting at a space, right? So you are capturing the space with the camera, the visual language, the cinematic language you are using, but you are capturing the space. Now in that space, you are designing a set, you are having production design, you are doing this and that, and within the space you are having your costume, your makeup, your hairstyle, and everything. You as a human being, as actors, interacting actors or solo performances, whatever you choose to do in a particular scene, you have the space, and that is happening in time. So the duration of the shot, how long you are keeping the shot, how long you are giving the dialogue, the pauses and the speech, the dialogue. Then another actor is coming together, how the things are changing, staging and blocking, your movement, your gestures, your emotions, your way of telling the dialogue, so many things happening during the shoot. So sometimes, what the director is wanting to tell the story in a particular way, obviously we go for that. But audience expectations, again, audience can expect a lot from a particular director or a particular brand or a particular movie and a particular subject. When a movie is based on a particular subject, there can be a lot of expectations, from the audience. But a good director, when the movie is in good hands, what happens is audience are expecting, and the movie is made in that way. Sometimes it can fall apart, sometimes it can be a different take, sometimes it can match, and people, different kinds of people, they can get motivated by different things. Sometimes one person may like it, one person may not like it. There are different things. But when we make a great movie, you will see that many people will like it, they will remember it for a long time. So what happens is, we are giving a lot of importance on pre-production, we are giving a lot of importance during production, and in the post-production some people become lethargic. So you have spent a lot of effort throughout, Are you going to keep that when you are making the end product that is going to be in the theater? Many people become lethargic, They have given a lot of effort so far. Now they are overwhelmed by the choices they can be in the editing table. The editor can be, the director can be, but that's where professionalism comes into practice, professionalism. We are overwhelmed by the choices, but we know that we have to make the best movie we can possibly make. So, we can take some time, we can do some techniques, we can do some rituals and all these things. We can find our own way of doing things, and, eventually we are having the end product, we are telling the story. So all these things happen, but throughout the process, from pre-production to post-production, we are trying to tell the story in a much better way, a lot of creative choices, but we are trying to story the best possible way, tell the story the best possible way we can. Then it goes to the theaters. Will we remember it for the weekends only, or will we remember it for a long time? That is a question. But if you have seen the movies so far, why we fall in love with movies, why we fall in love with cinema. So far, whatever we have done, so far, you will see that we have fallen in love with cinema for many reasons. And the movies we watch that stayed with us for a long time, right? So we expect you make a movie that can stay with people for a long time, not for the weekends only. So there are movies that can stay for the weekends, and you are looking for break even, you are looking for generating some revenue, selling your tickets. There will be movies which we'll remember for a long time. So here we push towards making those movies, tackling the subject, tackling the story, writing the script, making the movie in such a way that people can remember for a long time. And the entire filmmaking experience can be something, you can remember. So that's what, it's a lot about collaboration and taste. The one thing you can deal with is creative ego, because artists, they will have their own kind of ego. So that becomes a part of management, leadership, part of the filmmaking process. So creative ego you can deal with, and then collaboration, it's a lot about taste. Taste is very important. The way you are choosing the shots, the way you are choosing the visual language to portray a particular character, to tell a story, to show a situation, those things are really important. Choosing the actors, choosing the cast and crew, and guiding them, everything. It's a lot about taste. It's a lot about taste. Generally, when we talk about filmmaking here, it is like, as I mentioned, we want to make the best movie we can possibly make. So we are choosing the cinematographer accordingly, we are choosing the set designer accordingly, we are choosing the production designer or the art director accordingly, we are choosing the casting director accordingly, we are choosing different people from the cast and crew accordingly. It's a lot about taste. And when the director is telling, I want to movie in this way, people are also following that taste. They can understand what the taste can look like. So they are also coming with, their collaborative efforts, and eventually we are having a movie. Filmmaking, we can do so much. A lot of creative things we can do. But ultimately we are telling a story. We are giving the audience an experience. Thank you.